Hey everyone, welcome into Flippin' Hippo's YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and helping us feed a hungry hippo. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up while you're watching. Today we're going to be doing a new series. I hope it turns into a series and I can continue this for a while. I want to call it Midweek Motivation, and these videos will come out on Wednesdays, on Hump Day. And the Midweek Motivation is just going to be me talking to you about something I think people need to hear. This channel is well known for being a teaching channel. I do tough love, and I talk about the reality of reselling. I don't just do highlight reels here. I don't just show you the once-in-a-lifetime finds that are going to turn us all into millionaires overnight. I try to show you the way to build an actual, sustainable reselling business with items that you can continually get time and time and time again and get listed to pay your bills. It's not always glamorous. It's not always exciting. It's not always those once-in-a-lifetime finds, but it is items that everyone can find, everyone can attain, everyone can list, and they will sell, and you can pay your bills and put food in the fridge. So on the heels of that, I've been talking about that a lot on this channel lately. I did take a hiatus from YouTube at the beginning of this year. Most of you know. Keith and I were working towards the goal of having 4,000 active listings on eBay and then cross-posting those to other platforms, of course. And sometimes when you're focusing on one goal, the other things in your life have to kind of take a back seat, and that's okay. I am a reseller first and a content creator second. I've never made no bones about that. I love making YouTube videos. I love making the short reels for TikTok and Instagram. They're fun. And I love to sit here and make these long form videos to teach you guys and show you guys how I resell so that you can take from me and how I do things and make it work for you so that you can make a profitable, successful business that you can continue to do year after year. And I love doing that. This is probably my favorite part of this job. Even though I'm a reseller first, I like making these videos and teaching. It's one of my favorite things to do. But while I was focusing on getting that goal of our 4,000 active listings listed, some things had to take a back burner. There's that expression about you only have so many spoons in a day, so you can't wear yourself out. If you're going to double down on something and do more of something, other things are going to have to not be prioritized at that time, and that's okay. Life is always, and this job is always about prioritizing everything. What is most important? What do you need to get done? That's why I teach you guys about routines and time management. Every single day, we all have the same 24 hours, and we all need to figure out what's most important and get those done. My dad actually taught me something when I was a kid, which is probably the best advice I can give you now, even as an adult, and something that I absolutely follow every single day, week, month, year, and quarter running this business. Always get the worst stuff out of the way first. Whatever you like doing least, get it out of the way first. If you need to do shipping first, if you need to get your photos of your listing, everyone likes to thrift except for me. I'm a weirdo. But most of y'all do like to thrift. Get your listing done. Get your photos done. Get your shipping out of the way. Get whatever is the least desirable activity or task out of the way first thing every morning, first thing every week. By Wednesday, you should have all the out of the way, and the rest of the week should be thrifting or fun. And that can apply to anything in life. Always get out of the way what you don't want to do, because when you do what you don't want to do first, then you're going to be more inclined to do what you want to do, if that makes sense. So do what you don't want to do, so you'll do what you want to do. And also prioritize. So I took a hiatus from the channel, and I came back, and I was kind of getting some feedback and some comments, and it's probably from newer subscribers, and that's okay because they don't know me. That's fine. I'm not going to hold it against them. But those of you that know me, that have been watching me since 2018 or been a part of our Facebook group, which if you're not in, you should be. Wink. Facebook group is called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. But if you know me, you know that my philosophy is tough love, the reality of reselling, not the glamour, not the excitement, not the one time I sold a $300 plush, and you can too, because no, you can't. You probably will never find that plush. One time I sold a $1,000 Polaroid. Yeah, okay, but you're probably not going to go out to the art sales and find that. I want you guys to have a sustainable, profitable, realistic business that you can continue to feed into with new inventory all the time and have what you need in life. And I like to say this a lot too, bears repeating. Your bills aren't my bills. Your life is not my life. So everyone's life is different. Everyone's needs, everyone's debt, everyone's bills, everyone's families, everyone's priorities outside of work, what you like to spend your money on. Some people like video games. Some people like to go to sports events. Some people like to travel. And none of that is wrong. There are a lot of resellers out there, I feel like, I don't know if they do it on purpose or it just comes off that way, but it's almost like if you don't run your business exactly the way I do, you're wrong. And that's not true. You need to run your business the way you need to run it for you. You need to pay your bills, not mine. Mine might be less or more than you. I might like to take weekends off. I do, actually. I shouldn't say I might. I like to take weekends off. So I don't hustle as hard as some other resellers who work the weekends and the evenings. I did in the beginning. When we were building this business, I worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And on that 7th day, I thrifted. And I've got our business now to where, we can take a chill pill and take evenings off and weekends off. But if you need to build your business, if you need to grow it, if you're just getting started and you need to put in those 12-hour days, do it. You'll thank yourself later because you'll get to a point where you're like, oh, I built it to where I needed it to be, hustling and grinding so hard, and now I'm just maintaining. And now I can take the weekends off. So your situation is always going to be different. Your situation personally, even to yourself, is going to be different, let alone different from other resellers. Our needs, our goals, our bills are not the same as they were a year ago or 2 years ago or when we started. Things change. I mean, Keith and I, when we first started, we still had a little bit of debt. We're debt free now. Thank you, Dave Ramsey. But we had car payments and stuff when we first started, so we needed to make a little bit more. Our rent has gone up, of course, over time. Groceries have gone up. We all know that. Even the cost of goods has gone up. And there's times of the year where you're going to sell more and make more money, and there's times of the year where it's going to be slower. So even within your own personal needs and the way you've built your business and the way your life is, you're going to fluctuate on how much money you need to make versus what's coming in. And you have to learn to balance that. I always tell people maybe in the summer when it's slow, that's when you take the time to get organized. I did a whole video on that. I'm going to have it pop up. If you haven't watched it, you really should. It's how to utilize your time and do productive things when sales are slow so that when sales pick up, you're ready to go, you're streamlined, and you can go through Q4 with no stress. And I will do more videos as we get closer to Q4 on how to prep and prepare for Q4. But the summer slowdown is really when you should be organizing, get everything clean, getting everything organized, getting a good inventory management system in place, and then listing extra. So if you normally list 10 items a day and you can swing 12 or 15, do it. Do it. When sales are slow, you're probably shipping less. So you have a little bit extra time. And if you go into Q4 with more listings or you go into a bigger time of year where more people are shopping, you're going to thank yourself. So always use your time. Try not to be negative. I know things can get tough when sales are slow, and I think that a lot of people get discouraged. But if you're making less money and you have a death pile, maybe list from that before you go sourcing. Even if you have your emergency pile, which I like to talk about as well, there's death piles and then there's emergency piles, and they're two completely different things. You really shouldn't let your death pile accumulate or get too big because then you're just a hoarder and a shopper. You're not a reseller. But your emergency pile is something everyone should have. We used to have a pretty big one. We're talking back in 2019. We probably had a death pile. And we decided that we were not going to thrift anymore until we got through all of the items that we had already thrifted and gotten from yard sales. And we did. We got through everything. We had absolutely no inventory left. And then the shutdown happened and the world closed and there were no thrift stores open. And through 2020, Keith and I had to get very creative on how to get inventory, which I'm actually kind of thankful for because fast forward 4 years to where we're more reclusive and we don't like to leave the house, we can now get most of our inventory ordered straight to our door because we figured out how. But my point is, we didn't have any stockpile. We also live in Pennsylvania, where it can get really cold in the winter. There can be a lot of snow. The roads can ice up. So we like to have, maybe a month or two of a stockpile of extra inventory laying around as we go into the winter, just in case we can't get out. And sometimes our shipments and our wholesale can't get to us because we live on a steep hill. If there's ice, the trucks can't come through and stuff like that. If you live somewhere down south where there's hurricanes, southeast, you want to maybe have your stockpile ready to go as you go into the hurricane season. If you live out in Arizona, Nevada, California, where it gets really, really, really hot, you may want your stockpile for the summer because it's probably okay for you to go out in the fall and the winter. The weather's nice out there, but in the summer when it's 180,000 degrees, maybe you just want to work from the stockpile instead of going out in the heat. So that leads back into, again, everyone's situation is different. I do recommend everybody have a stockpile for just in case, because you never know what's going to happen, but also pay attention to where you live and what goes on around you with the weather and when you may want that stockpile to be a little bit bigger than usual. You should always have at least a month, maybe 2, and maybe 3 if you live somewhere where there's hurricanes or excessive heat or cold or snow. It is important to have that because you never know what's going to happen. You could actually hit just a rough time where the thrift stores don't really have anything, or the yard sales are kind of, and you're just not finding stuff to bring home, but you'll still have stuff to list. And that leads back to what led me down this train of thought is when sales are really slow and you're not making as much profit or money, maybe instead of thrifting and spending more money on your cost of goods, you can list from your death pile. Also, don't forget to hit up yourself. I mean, go through your house, spring clean it, sell what you're not using, go through your closet, sell what you're not wearing. There's a lot of things you can do when sales are slow that will help things pick up and at least get you ready for the season where we're all going to sell more. So these are my little tidbits of wisdom today. Hopefully I'll be back. I really would like to do like the midweek motivation every week and just talk about something that we're all going through or something that can help all of us. Maybe sometimes just some tough love. But this week, just to introduce the series, I really wanted to reiterate the fact that everybody is different and whatever you're doing is okay as long as it's working. Now that's if it's working. So if you're constantly going to the thrift stores and spending money and nothing is selling and you're going into debt, you might want to rethink what you're sourcing or how your business is built. But if you go to the thrift store and pick up 200 pairs of Walmart jeans for 99 cents every week and you get those listed and they're selling and they're paying your bills, you're not doing anything wrong, especially if you're enjoying yourself. If you're going to yard sales and you're picking up electronics or old fans and you're parting things out and you only have to sell one thing a week to make your $1,000 and you're enjoying yourself, that's good too. There's really no right or wrong way to resell. You have to find a category or a niche or items that you enjoy doing. Some people do like to take things apart. Some people like to fix things. Some people like to clean things. Some people like vintage. Some people like real jewelry or costume jewelry. Some people don't mind repairing shoes. Some people make items and sell them on Etsy. It's whatever you like doing. If it brings you joy, if you're happy in what you're doing, and you're making enough money that you need to make, whatever that looks like for you. This could be a part-time job. This could be something you're doing to save up for vacation. This could be something you're doing just to pay off debt. Or this could be your full-time job, paying all your bills and buying all your foods. And whatever that looks like for you, as long as it's working and you're happy. Okay, I want to make that clear too. If it's working and you're miserable, something needs to change. Even if you're making tons of money. If you're miserable, that's not the point of being your own boss. The point of having your own business and being a small business owner and being your own boss and working from home and having all this freedom is so that you can let go of all that toxicity from the corporate world that we all used to deal with. That waking up every morning, oh, I gotta go to work. Oh, it's Monday, I hate it. We were all so toxic and just miserable. I shouldn't say all of us, but a lot of us were. I loved what I did for a living, but I didn't like the politics and the bosses and everything that went behind it. So even if you used to love what you did, there's always some kind of toxicity in a job where you're working for somebody else, even if it's just your commute and the cost of gas or how early you have to get up. But now we all have this freedom. We can make our own hours. We can work when we want. We can walk across the hall in pajamas and work if we want. We can get dressed to the nines and go out to the thrift stores if we want. We have that freedom to do these things as we would like to do them. Want to work second shift? Want to work third shift? Want to work weekends? Want to work evenings? Need to work evenings? Need to work around your kids? Whatever it is. But if you're miserable, you've missed the point. We're supposed to all be joyous and happy. Even when sales are slow and we're stressed out, we still should be joyous and happy that we have the freedoms we have to make our own hours, be our own bosses, and to decide, hey, sales are slow enough that I'm going to go do DoorDash for a while or pick up a part-time job, but in Q4 I can quit again. It's freedom. So if whatever you're doing is working enough to pay your bills, but you're miserable, I still think it's not working. We should all be happy. So that is my motivation for this midweek. I'll be back next week. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you're struggling with motivation, let me know down below or join that Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod, and talk with other like-minded resellers in a very positive atmosphere, and we can all help each other out. Until next time, go be productive, go make some money, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.